I mentioned in another one of the videos, the most often asked question I get is, why should I work with you and not one of these other companies that have been calling me or texting me? And the most important reason is that I'm actually going to buy your house and close on your house. You see, most of the companies who've been calling you and sending you those postcards are what we call wholesalers. They will make you an offer with the hopes of getting your property under contract quickly, trying to get you to sign something, then trying to sell that contract off to another party for a profit. Let me give you an example. Let's say you've got a signed purchase contract for $100,000. They will then try to sell that contract even before they close on the house to a third party for, let's say, $130,000 or whatever profit they can make. Now, there are two problems here. One, the homeowners have absolutely no idea this is happening. And two, if they can't sell that contract to a third party, then they're just going to terminate the offer. They will use some sort of lame excuse like business partner approval or some other type of contingency that's written in the contract. Now, there are some professional wholesalers out there who do things the right way, but there are many, 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 many more who do not. And what ends up happening is if they can't sell that contract, they end up terminating the offer in the 11th hour, leaving the homeowner high and dry. It's absolutely heartbreaking because the homeowner might have already moved on or purchased something else, or maybe they really just needed that money and then all of a sudden they're back to square one. I see it happen almost every day. Secondly, you're going to get to meet me in person, not one of my salespeople, not some third-party realtor or inspector, me in the flesh. I'm going to be the one walking the property with you, talking to you about the offer. Me, the owner of the company, the decision maker. One of my most important pieces of advice is never sign a contract with someone you haven't met in person, who has never walked through the house in person. There is just way too much fraud going on in real estate right now. You want to know exactly whom you're dealing with. Everyone I work with gets my cell phone number. If the homeowners have any questions, they just call me on my cell phone. If we need to meet in person, either we meet at my office or we meet at the property. Try doing that with one of these big corporations or one of these out-of-state investors. Not meeting someone in person creates all types of problems, and the chances your house is actually going to make it to closing becomes much, much less. Lastly, is that I'm a licensed real estate agent in the state of Ohio. Actually, if you Googled me or looked up some of the reviews on this website or out there on the web, many of them are from my retail homeowners because I want you to have a really good understanding how I treat people and the way I work. Now, I know you've got no interest in listing this house with this type of sale, and you know there are no commissions like I mentioned earlier or any type of fees, but because I'm licensed, I'm bound by the state of Ohio to do things legally and ethically as well. A lot of these knucklehead investors running around today are doing transactions the wrong way, not providing the necessary legal paperwork to the homeowners, using incomplete purchase contracts, and not being transparent on what's going on with the transaction. Selling a home is the largest transaction that most people will make in their lifetimes. You want to make absolutely sure that it's done legally and it's done correctly. I use words like ethical and honesty and transparency on this website. These just aren't words to me. This is the way that I was brought up, and this is the way that this business operates. So if you're interested in taking the next steps, just fill out the form and we'll talk soon.